Hello. So for this tutorial, we will check how to do like scripted, like basically a cutscene, but we will split it into like three parts. The first part will be this one, which is animating the character. So we do like, instead of doing like using AI, we will force the character to do specific actions. The second part will be about the dialogues, so the character speaking, and the third part will be like the camera. So let's get this first part starting. The first thing we will do is, like, I already placed all the entities, and while doing so, while going through, we will check all the different entities, and you can copy like how they are set up, their properties on the left side. And I tell you like the specific like settings, but most of them are like using like the default settings. So the first, I can tell you rapidly what this will be, like the cutscenes. We will have two characters. One will be, we will like use the base game stuff because we can make new animation and stuff, but that would be way too complicated for this. We will use what the original game have, and we will use that to create a new cutscene. So the first character is Bishop, which is like the guy in the chair, and they were just like waiting in the room, like doing like idle. And then Paxton, which is like behind the pillar, will come, and he will use like the nav mesh here. So it's important to have like this nav mesh set up for the character, where the character can go. And Paxton will walk like to that first node, and the other character like Bishop will go backward, and Paxton will still walk towards him, and he will play another animation, and then the lights will go off, and Paxton will disappear. Then at the end, the light will go back on, and Bishop will be like sitting alone, same as the start. So the idea is like Paxton is like having those vision, and he will just like talk to the Bishop character here. So the first thing is with the trigger, the player trigger that is placed here. This is just like all the settings are by default. So just like create that trigger and don't touch anything. The first thing we want to do though is start scripting. So we go in like commands, and we start here for scripting. The first thing I want to do is to tell Paxton, and yeah, I rename the CAI object, which are the character, which you can take a look first. Like those are CAI objects, same as AI character, but they are like character basically. And this is Bishop, so I rename it to Bishop so it's easier. And as the model template, which the character, I chose Bishop Chair, and the other one is Paxton, and I chose the character Fiddle Dissolve for like a bloody Paxton Fiddle. So that's important to know. And those settings for the character are all by default. Also, except the model, of course. Like they don't have goal, they are not smart. We will force them to do actions. We script them. So let's go back to this. So in my trigger, I want firstly to make Paxton, to use caps like this, Paxton disappear. Not disappear, but be not visible. So we don't want to see him at the start. So we put him to hidden 1, like that. And then after that, we will use what's called a script. So a script is really important for this because all the action will play one after the other. Because normally when you write comments, they all play at the same time, and you need to use like a delay for them to play that at the same time. But we want to have it modular. We don't want to like try to guess the delay for each things. We want to be sure when once is over, the next commands will start, and we use the script for that. So, and everything for the script command, they are in parentheses. So open is it? Oh, yeah, open parenthesis and write the first action, which is it's to animate a bishop, because when we enter the room, bishop needs to be like idle. And just for, well, we'll tell his name like bishop. So bishop, and then we put in the parentheses for that, animate, which is like the command for animation, and then the animation name, which here will be bishop, then sit look. Then close this, that's for the action, and then close again for the whole like commands, which is like the first command of the script. And how the hell do you know the animation name? Well, you go inside WorldEdit, you open the character for, like, this is Paxton Fiddle. Let's check bishop. Well, if I can find him. Yeah, like this. That's him. He uses a special skeleton because the chair is like inside the rig. So he don't use like generic animation, but we can still see all the animation here. That one is funny. But the important part is that you can see the animation and you can see the name of the animation like right here. So you know what to write. So I want to use bishop sit look, which is this one. So play it. Like it's kind of like, and the idle animation where he's looking around, that's bishop sit look. That's the name we put here. Now the next command we play after this one will be for Paxton. So Paxton, and we'll tell him to become visible. So we can copy this, that, and put 0 to make it visible. Oh, not like this. That's this command. Then the next command will be for Paxton again. Paxton, and we'll tell him to go to, which tell him to move to a node, and the node is called go to 01. That's the first one. Close that. And then the next action will be for bishop. We'll need to tell him to go backward, because Paxton will have reached the node. So now bishop needs to go backward. So there's an animation for this. And let's tell him to animate. And it's called, that's a long name, it's called bishop scoot. And then move. And see, like this. Okay. And for the last command or action of the script, we'll tell bishop again to animate after the scoot, after he's going backward, scoot. We tell him to play an idle animation, and this one will be called like this, I think. Yeah. I won't check all the animation to save time, but you can see them in the WorldEdit web, like I showed you earlier. And that's the end of this script for this. But the thing is that this will only play like one sequence of actions, but we need more because we need like to have 2 sequences of action at the same time, because we have 2 characters. So for that, we will use something else. So there's no issue, so that's okay. And we will use the first node. So the node has also a command window. So when Paxton will reach that node, we will tell other command to happen. Others. So I want to wait a little bit, so I put a delay, and then I use another script. And for this script, I use Paxton I tell Python to animate at this node, and he will use this animation called Alma2 when he kind of goes crazy. Alma2 is having like vision or something. So, and then when he's done playing that Alma2 animation, we'll tell him to Paxton again. Yeah, we tell Paxton to go to the second node, which is go to 01. Oh, 02, I think. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's the end of this script sequence. And for the parentheses, you can check when it's green. You can see like here I have my whole script sequence, like inside the delay. Then I have this action and the you need to put, when you have like two arguments, you need to put them in parentheses. That's why I have one here. So that's, let's see like this one whole action, and then you have this whole action. You see like the green parentheses, like that's this whole action. Okay. So this is good. And now we want to do this second node, because we tell Paxton to go there after. And same thing, we use open the windows and another delay and another script. For this, we'll tell Paxton to animate at this node, the second node. So animate, I see command, and we play the animation called fiddle 10 copy. Fiddle 10 copy. Yeah, I know the name are, the devs didn't name their animation correctly for some, or for most. So like this. I think. Did I correctly? Yeah, this is correct. Okay. Next action in the script, we'll use we will use an object called a command object. So we tell the command object, which call command object 01 to be activated with the on command. Oh yeah, and that will be over. So I put like this. When you're done, you put like this symbol. So we will use a command object for this one because we cannot put a delay for individual action in the script, just at the start of the script. And I want to control this event with which will be the lights going off and the lights going on. And I want to be able to control easily how much time it will stay off. So I'm using a command object for that. So if I select my command object, which is this entity, like I can select it in my outliner. This, I need to make another tutorial on that, but basically that's a timeline with script. So you click on this box and put like a name, just put one. Okay, and then you right click and add the key, like a keyframe. And this one will be set to 0, it's the start, and I'll add another keyframe. And this is the time it will take for the lights to go from off to on. So let's start scripting. You select the first keyframe. You can, you're right here, but we don't want to do that. We want the black window, so you click there, get the black window, okay. And we want to tell okay, I didn't touch that, but I'm using 2 flicker object for controlling the lights. So those are here, flicker 1. So take a look at those settings because you want to copy them. And flicker, that's the one for the light off. And flicker 2 is for the lights to go on. And we are using a sign because we want them to be like I have a transition of going on. So again, copy the settings right there. And the important one, that I want to touch on a bit is the flicker object, which will be a group, because we have many lights to affect. Group is called group. If I click this arrow, I will select my group. And you can see the group contain all the lights to be affected. So here I have 2 main lights and I have a lot of fill lights to fill the rooms. So I need to affect each of them to make the room, the light go off all the way. So also do this with the group, create this setup to have it working. So let's go back in my command object. And I want to tell the flicker 01 to be activated, so the light will go off, out, like instantly. Then I want, at the same time, because all of this will happen at the same time, I want to tell Paxton to go away. So we remove it, because it will disappear in the dark. And we want to tell also an fx object, which is called fx01, which is placed at the same position as the second node, where Paxton will be when this play out. And the fx will play like a disappearing effects. We'll take a look later. So this activate the fx also. So we do all of this at the same time. Put the light off with the flicker, activate the flicker, remove Paxton, and play the effects. If we check at the effects, you can select it here. It's like place on the second node, inside of it actually. And the only thing here is that's a special effects object. It won't loop. It will smooth shut down. It won't start on right away because we tell him to start on script. It's one time, so when it's done, it gets removed automatically. And that's it. And the name of the effects is character shreds. So let's select back the command object. And for the other keyframe, we want to tell the lights to go on. So we say the flicker object called 02, I think. Flicker 02 to be activated. And this will tell the light to go back on. So this is done. And we are done with the scripting, I think. So yeah, let's compile. Let's test. So now we'll see each of the events. So first the player will touch a trigger, which we'll do right away. So we walk and the trigger will be at the hole in the wall. So you can see, like, we can already select the character there. So we touch the trigger and this will tell the character here, bishop to animate. And just like, let's put that to just my yellow screen. I don't want it to be yellow. So he'll animate looking left and right. And then Paxton will appear, like he's not there, but he will appear when he's done doing his animation. So he's coming, and then we'll walk at the node. Then they both will play their animation, go backward, and Paxton will be crazy. Then it will, this one like kind of like plays idles. Paxton will walk to the second node, and he'll play the other animation at the second node. And then the lights will go out. And disappear, like go out. And back on, and you see like the effects playing. So that's it. That's it for this tutorial. We'll check the next one, which will be like dialogue, so we'll make them talk.